What did Ukraine and the U.S. reportedly agree on during high-level talks in Davos? Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky stated that he reached an understanding with U.S. President Donald Trump regarding post-war security guarantees during a meeting in Davos. The discussion took place on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum, where leaders and policymakers gathered to address global challenges, including conflict, reconstruction, and geopolitical competition. According to Zelensky, the talks centered on long-term security commitments for Ukraine after active hostilities come to an end. He said that Washington was prepared to discuss bilateral arrangements designed to deter future aggression, strengthen Ukraine's defense capabilities, and establish a framework for strategic cooperation. Specific details of the potential guarantees have not yet been publicly disclosed. Analysts note that such agreements often include components related to military assistance, intelligence sharing, arms procurement, and defense coordination. However, experts emphasized that no formal treaty has been announced and that negotiations are ongoing. The United States has historically offered security partnerships to countries facing external threats, although the structure and duration of such partnerships vary widely. The Davos meeting also touched on the question of reconstruction. Ukrainian officials have repeatedly stated that rebuilding infrastructure, energy networks, and industrial facilities will require significant international investment. Discussions in Davos included economic support mechanisms, public-private partnerships, and the role of financial institutions in the post-war period. Zelensky called for broader participation from Western and global partners. For Washington, engagement in Ukraine is linked to broader strategic considerations. Observers argue that supporting Kyiv strengthens U.S. credibility among allies and partners, while simultaneously countering rival influence in Eastern Europe. Critics, however, caution that extending long-term guarantees could increase U.S. commitments at a time of shifting global priorities. Other leaders in Davos reacted cautiously to Zelensky's announcement. European officials welcomed potential security guarantees as a stabilizing factor, but urged clarity on implementation timelines and resource allocation. Representatives from international organizations stated that the durability of any agreement would depend on diplomatic coordination and post-war political arrangements inside Ukraine. Questions also remain regarding Moscow's response. Analysts believe that the prospect of American security commitments could influence future negotiations, deterrence calculations, and regional security dynamics. However, experts stressed that diplomatic channels remain essential to avoiding escalation and to shaping a sustainable post-war settlement. For now, the reported agreement between Zelensky and Trump signals an effort to prepare for what comes after the conflict, rather than focusing solely on the present phase of hostilities. Details are expected to emerge as negotiations continue and as both governments assess the legal and strategic aspects of long-term cooperation. More updates may follow.